Part 2. Hi guys, welcome back to Belle's Reborns. Today we're going to talk about the topic of scam reborns. So earlier in this week we actually talked about where to buy reborns from and where not to buy reborns from. I gave some pretty helpful tips in that video on where to buy reborns from. And so I hope you guys watch that video. If you want to watch it back, please go check out that video right up there. And yeah, let's just get right into the topic of scams. Scams are not fun. I myself have been through a scam, and I will talk about that kind of later in the video. I think I'll end with that topic probably. But I wanted to talk about what you could do to avoid getting scammed and what might happen if you get scammed, what path you might take, and what that path might lead to scams. So yeah, let's just get right into this video. So basically, what a scam is in this reborn community is A, you're not getting what you're paying for, or B, you're basically buying an illegal baby. This is a hard topic to talk about in the reborn community because so many people are either for or against scam babies because they don't see the big picture. I would say that you have to have an open mind about it and you have to see the big picture to really know what you're looking at. So what the difference is in a reborn is these right here this is my personal collection, and all 3 of these babies are authentic babies, and I know that for a fact because I did my research and I looked into it before I purchased these babies. Being down that road before, I will never ever buy a reborn again without knowing 100% that they are authentic babies. Especially when it's really hard because you really want that baby, but you don't know the story behind it, you don't know how it was made, and you don't know if it's authentic. Today I want to be here to inform you guys on what an authentic reborn is and what a counterfeit reborn is. A counterfeit reborn is basically a scam, is what they call them. Counterfeit is a copy of one's work, and it basically is just somebody taking another person's work and claiming it as their own. That is the short and simple definition of what a counterfeit doll is. I will be brutally honest, in my time in this community, I've had a couple counterfeit dolls. I've learned my lesson from them, and I've moved past them now, and no, not ever to go down that road again. I never wish that upon any of you. I know that most people enjoy counterfeit dolls because that's all they can afford, but I will say this forever and ever: if you can avoid this situation, please avoid the situation. I want to talk a little bit about what a counterfeit doll is and how that affects others in the reborn community. I know this topic creates so many controversy topics and arguments in this reborn community. I'm not here to argue, I just want to put in my word and tell you guys what I see in a counterfeit doll. A couple of years ago, I actually had a counterfeit doll. It was the Twin A by Bonnie Brown. I purchased her off of eBay, and little did I know, this was very early in my collecting years, little did I know that that baby was a counterfeit doll. I would do anything to go back and tell my past self not to purchase that baby, even though I really wanted that baby at the time. I didn't really look into it, and it was kind of a impulse buy because it was on eBay. And if you guys know anything about eBay, they had live auctions. That live auction time was running out, and so I placed my bid and ended up winning that baby. I paid a little too much, I think, now looking back on it, for that baby, especially knowing that it was a counterfeit doll. One thing that I had from a very important person to me, a person that I look up to in this community, is an artist herself. I will not name her. But when I was trying to sell this baby further down the road, I was having such a trouble and I did not know why. So I reached out to this artist and I asked her for some advice. She was the one that informed me that it was a counterfeit doll, and she recommended just to hold on to it. She said to me that I was never going to be able to get what I paid for that baby, especially because it was a counterfeit doll. So basically what she was telling me is counterfeit dolls are worth nothing. Little to nothing. Which is hard to say because I've put a couple $100, I'll just say that, a couple $100 into counterfeit dolls, and then came to find out that that baby was worth basically $1. That's it. That's a hard loss, and that is why I'm informing you guys in this video to stay away from counterfeit dolls. I know that they often are sold at a super cheap price only because others want to get rid of them. People sell them at a super cheap price for reborns because that is what people are drawn towards. People that may not be able to afford a couple $100 doll, they'll go towards the lower end and purchase the counterfeit doll that's only $100 because they see the price and say, oh, that's what I want. You have to realize that at that price range, you are not getting what you're looking for. And in a way, to me, kind of what happened to me was I was just settling. I wish that I told myself now, looking back, that I should have never settled on that baby. But like I said, people make mistakes, and that is why I'm here to inform you guys and keep you guys away from that. I recommend, I know that it may be hard, but I recommend saving up money to buy a baby. It may take a couple months, it may take a couple years to save up for a baby, but save your money and buy an authentic baby. It's so much worth it in the long run, and then you don't have to worry about whether your baby is an authentic or counterfeit doll. Again, counterfeit dolls are illegal babies. Some of you may not know what that means, but I am going to talk about the counterfeit side a little bit more here. Sorry, I'm kind of jumping around in this video, but counterfeit dolls, some of you just may think that it's just a name. I've said this several times, but a counterfeit doll is an illegal baby. It basically, if you think about it in art form, it's basically someone taking this painting that they created, this very famous painting that they created, and it's been hung in several museums because it's been so popular to the public eye. And then here we have a lower company coming in and stealing a replica or a copy of their painting and claiming it as their own. So in the reborn community, basically an artist itself creates these high-end reborn sculpts. They sculpt them and they put their hours into creating the sculpt for a reborn kit, and then the painter or the artist works with the sculptor. The sculptor is the one that sculpts the kit and carves out the vinyl kits or silicone, depending on your artist or your sculptor. And then the artist is the one that paints the kit and spends hours into painting and designing the kit, kind of like these three. They're all designed in their own unique way. But then the illegal side of it is, for example, I know that Bonnie Brown is a very famous sculptor, and I believe she's an artist too, but anyways, sculptor. She created several kits years ago. If you don't know them, she has the twin A and the twin B. I know that those babies further down the road have been stolen by factories. Oftentimes, China, I believe, has stole kits. They steal these kits and they claim them as their own. The reason why these factories steal these kits is because they have an easier way of making money off of these kits. They just have to factory make them. So they put them through their machines that make several at a time. They don't have to put in as much work and time and hours into painting them. And yeah, like I said, the factory does it for them. If you don't look at that situation is so wrong when you look at Reborns. Just think to yourself for a second. If you look at these 3 babies, they're all unique in their own way. And all of these babies, if you just look at them, you may not be able to realize it, but each and every baby that has been hand sculpted by their artist, or by their sculptor. So Ping Lao is her sculptor. Ping Lao had to go through and design each and every single part of her. If you look at her hand, she has all these details in here. She has all the grooves. She has all the fingers. She has all of these little things. Up her arm, she has the creases. On the mouth, she has the mouth that's kind of folded over. She has the nose. She has the cheeks with the dimples. She has her eyes, and so much more on just the kit herself. If you take that kit, that may have took Ping Lao hours and hours to create that kit. And then from there, she has several kits created by hand from that mold. And from there, she sells those kits to artists. In Millie's case, her artist was Pumpkin Doodle Babies. Pumpkin Doodle Babies herself took her blank kit, decided that she wanted to paint her kit. From my own experience, I know that painting is not just a one-done deal. Painting can take hours on end if you add up every single layer and step of the process. And painting is not easy. You have to look at all the in-depth details of her body. So I'm just gonna zoom in for a minute. On her hand, I don't know how well this is gonna work, but she has the red there. And if you look at her hand, she has her nails done. She has all of this painting on her hands. If you look at her face, she has the red cheeks. She has a little red on the nose. She has the red chin, the lips, the creases below her eyes. All of those details are very, very fine details. And not just to mention the painting, her eyes had to be done. Her eyelashes, I believe, were glued on. But then if you look at the top of her hair is just another story. Each pieces of that hair on that baby were rooted one by one. Same with Oakley here. Oakley's hair was rooted by hand, and that process takes at least 5 hours. And that's just on the short end. I bet you, depending on the artist, that rooting could take a couple of days, if not more, depending on how much time they have on their hands. So adding up all of that hours between the sculpting of this baby itself and the painting and the rooting, that baby has so many hours into it. To be comparing it to a factory doll over here that takes maybe 10 minutes to go through the machine, to get painted by all these different machines, and to get rooted by a rooting tool that is in the machine, not to mention the cheap plastic look that this baby has when it's done, is just so incredibly wrong to me. I get that that is my opinion, and I kind of went down a big rabbit hole there, but that is my opinion on what a counterfeit doll is. It's so much more than just a cheap doll. Honestly, it's wrong, and yeah, I'm not going to talk anymore about that because that was a very big rant, and as you can see, I got a little mad about that topic because yes, it is a touching topic to some. Some think it's all right, and some people just don't agree with it, and the more I've gotten into this community, I've just learned not to agree with it. Because if you think about it, it's taking away from this talent of an artist over here. If you look at it in the long run, would you rather have talented artists in this community that paint these babies, sculptors that sculpt these kits by hand? Or would you rather have a factory baby over here that just gets produced in 10 minutes and is cheaply made and things go wrong because of the cheap quality of this baby? Which one would you have in that case? Anyways, but after that rant, alright, I am back. So I kind of just have my Reborns paperwork in a specific place because it is very important. So here's Maddie's. The Maddie kit is right behind. That's Oakley is the Maddie kit, and this is her certificate of authenticity. You can see that right there. People call it COAs, but basically the COA is to show that your baby is legit and it's not going to be a counterfeit scam doll. I would say that if your baby does not have a COA, do not purchase her, but I am going to talk about that. There is a couple situations where that is not necessary, but again, I will talk about that. Like that is Maddie's COA, and then in the bag here, again, Ping Lao was Millie's artist over here. Here is Ping Lao's certificate of authenticity for the Raya kit. That is what Millie is. And it just is just this front side showing pictures and talking down below about the certificate of authenticity, how it is illegal to reproduce these babies, and that basically these certificate of authenticities are created to claim the rights to the babies, and for if these babies themselves were recreated, it is illegal. So basically sculptors have to claim their rights before they produce their babies so that their babies do not get copied. And here finally is the certificate of authenticity for the Tatiana by Revashevik. Revashevik is another artist that has had a baby get copied by Canada, and I know that for a fact because that was my very, very first toddler. That was a scam, and it was a counterfeit doll of the Ariana by Revashevik. So yeah, those are ways to tell that your Reborns are authentic. If you want a COA, if you do not feel comfortable buying a baby without a COA, I would always ask if it is not provided in the description, and if they say no, maybe that baby is just not the right baby for you. You have to realize one thing that I've learned is in Reborn sculpts, kits especially, Reborn sculptors create just more than one baby unless it is a prototype baby. The prototype babies are obviously harder to get your hands on, so you would have to save up the money for those babies. But other than that, Reborn sculptors usually create several copies of the same kit. Often, like anywhere I've seen like 500 to like 1,500 kits at a time in each edition for a Reborn. So there's always more kits out there. It's not like there's going to be only one kit. It may seem limited, especially if it's a popular kit, but there's always more kits out there unless it's a prototype baby, like I said. So finally, to end the video, I'm just gonna end on the note talking about the Reborns that do not have COAs, but I know for a fact are authentic. The one place that I know that sells Reborns that are authentic, but are not counterfeit dolls, is Bountiful Baby. Bountiful Baby, half of their kits have COAs, half of their kits do not have COAs, and I just wanted to talk about that a little bit because it may seem like half of their babies are fake and half of them are real in that case. Bountiful Baby creates real-born babies, which real-born babies are, if you look on their website, it talks about it more. and goes into depth how Bountiful Baby takes images of real babies and creates reborn kits based off of those real babies. So again, it's not a factory made, cheaply made baby. Bountiful Baby is more of just a lower end, I would definitely say lower end baby, but the affordable baby that is still authentic. So when you're looking for a reborn, I recommend buying a Bountiful Baby over buying a reborn that may be a counterfeit baby, just because the price is cheaper. Bountiful Baby babies can go anywhere. I have seen them around $100 to a couple $100, depending on the art quality again, but I would say that that is definitely more affordable than like these guys. These guys are kind of like a little bit of a higher end splurge baby. So yeah, if you are looking for a cheap, affordable reborn, but after this video you've realized that you don't want a counterfeit illegal baby, please check out Bountiful Baby. Bountiful Baby on their website only sells kits, but I know that on Reborns.com you can find a completed Bountiful Baby from several artists. I know that I have some Bountiful Baby kits. Down below in my description box, I will have my Reborns.com linked there. So I have some affordable babies for sale down there right now, and I have more babies coming soon. So if you want an affordable reborn, you can always just start down in my description box on Reborns.com. I hope that covered a vast majority of this topic, and you guys enjoyed this video. I will love to hear your feedback if you have any feedback, but always remember, keep it kind and keep it respectful in my comment section. I will not reply, and you will be removed if you do not have anything nice to say. That is your warning. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time on Belle's Reborns. Bye guys!